Hey, what's going on? My name is Kevin Desgupta. I'm a licensed professional engineer in the state of Colorado. I'm 51 years old. I was born in 1965 and I've been alive since the present. I'm going to comment on the Mandela Effect. This is something my son had turned me on to, and at first I dismissed this as, oh, well, people have memories. We tend to have a lot of inceptions in our memories where if we remember a red coat and then we see a white coat for a certain amount of time, we might remember somebody having a white coat versus a red coat. So memories do change. However, some memories are pretty distinct, and especially when the memories are shared by a lot of people, then, well, we got to look at this a little closer. Now, the few things that kind of got me were the two pieces of proof of the Mandela Effect. The two pieces that I consider concrete proof that this actually is worth looking into. And one is the landmass west of Australia. This is something I clearly remember. When I was a kid, and the reason I clearly remember this, now obviously I'm telling you my experience, not the proof. The reason I clearly remember it is because I remember asking, and this was in 1975, I remember asking my teacher, what is this country called? And she said, oh, it's just a landmass, it's part of Australia. Then all of a sudden it disappears off any map that we have, even dating back before 1975, but my memories have it, and there is a photo of it on Dazed and Confused, and that's what started getting me thinking. And what I did after I saw the second piece of proof, which was, actually we have three pieces of proof. Sex in the City is how I remember it. Now it's supposedly Sex and the City. But there was a video where this guy actually showed the logo Sex in the City on many different items that he kept from his girlfriend. And now, no matter where we look, we see Sex and the City dating back to when the show had originally started. The second piece of evidence was the Mandela Effect, or the third piece in this case, was the Mandela Effect itself. Because in the book, English Alive, it writes in the book that he died on July 29th, 1991. That's also how I remember it. I remember all the hoopla and everything about his death, and my memory of it was when he came out and they said, well, we want him to be prime minister. I was like, he's dead. But again, that's something that my memory, we don't trust our memories that well. But when we hear the same memory from many, many people, it's hard to dismiss this as something we hadn't lived, that we hadn't seen. So my memory goes like this. Jiffy peanut butter has always been Jiffy peanut butter. I remember arguing with my stepmom when she said, would you like some Jif? And my distinct memory was, oh, Jif, did they change their name, or is this a new company? She says, no, it's always been Jif. I'm like, no. It's been Jiffy. They even mixed one time the jam and the peanut butter in Jiffy peanut butter, and now all of a sudden it's Jif. Well, no, that's not true. These are glitches. Now, what I did is I went through my life and I looked through all these glitches, the first one being the landmass west of Australia. That happened around 1975. And the second was Jiffy peanut butter around 1982, Sex in the City around 1996, and the other memory that I have, and this, I haven't heard this on any other Mandela Effect, but this is distinctly my memory because I was in the Marine Corps from 1985 to 1989, and I am from Indian descent. And when you go through, and during that time, people were very racist. So you tell them you're different than white, they all of a sudden try to, well, he's from, jokes erupt and all kinds of things. But I remember everybody saying, oh, he's an Indonesian. I'm like, no, I'm an Indian. I'm from New Delhi. I'm a Hindu. And I got that a lot. Indonesian. To the point where I said, well, what the hell is Indonesia? I don't even know that was a country. I remember looking up Indonesia as being a country just on the right side of India. It was a little island on the right side of India. Today's maps show that as Sri Lanka. And then there's an island south, which used to be Sri Lanka, is now something else. So that is a distinct memory I have. I don't think I remember that wrong. I don't think anybody put some kind of alternate memory, or I could have remembered that in any other way because of the life events that happened to me up to that point. So I know that that happened right around 1989. So what I did is I put a chart together when these glitches may have happened, and I saw a pattern. And the pattern is they seem to happen every 7 years. So if we are living in a simulated reality, or we ourselves are simulated beings that have a computer chip in our head, maybe it's our organic matter altogether, then we obviously have a glitch. And this glitch seems to happen every 7 years. So what I'd like to do, if you're listening to this, get your experience and try to go to a quiet place and remember it as you remember it. And tell me about it, because I'd like to see and chart out when these things happen. My experience says they seem to happen, or there's a reset in either our conscious or the reality that we live in, per se. I mean, this is out there, but it's worth looking at. This reset, from my experience, or from what I can tell, happens every 7 years. So if you can, tell me your experience, and let's try to pinpoint the date, because what would be the coolest thing is if you could actually look at a bottle of Jiffy peanut butter and be there at the moment that it turned to Jif. Now, that would be cool. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do. If we can see when it happened in the past, what we understand to be the past, maybe we can predict it in the future. And if we can know when it's going to happen, then that might be a cool event to witness. Anyway, I'm out. Leave comments or a like or whatever.